Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I do my magic or invisible knot. There's 4 things that you can use this magic knot or invisible knot for. Number 1 is just to add more of the same colour when you've run out of yarn from one of the balls. Number 2 is to change colours. Number 3 is to replace those factory knots, because I don't totally trust them. Even though when I yank them they're quite firm, I just change them to my invisible knot because it's not ever let me down. I've never had one come undone. And another reason is much the same. Sometimes in your yarn you'll get imperfections. So I snip those out and I join the 2 ends together with my magic knot. Now, to do your magic knot, you need to lay one piece of yarn down and then the other over the top. Now, I always do it this way. The bottom one has an opening on the right, the top one has an opening on the left. Now what we do is we take the bottom one, we lay it over the top, and then we pull it down and under itself again. So we've made a loop around this top layer of yarn. Picking up that end, putting it into that loop, and then pulling. All right, you don't have to pull it too much just yet. And now we've got the bottom layer attached to the top. Now we do the same thing with the top end of yarn. We take it under the bottom one, bring it around over top of the bottom one so it's got a loop, and then take the yarn end up and through that loop, and then you can pull on it to firm it up a little bit. Now where the magic happens is if you tighten those 1 and 2, and then you draw them together, it just does not come undone. It wouldn't matter how hard I yanked that, it doesn't come undone. Now the beauty about this knot is it's so small that you actually don't notice it in your work. Let me show you. There you go. There is one little bump. And I find that if I have it in my work, I am able to push it into the center of a stitch or push it through to the back. It's just so minimal and so handy. Now, some people use this magic knot to join colours when they're working in rows. I haven't taken the time to learn how to do that as yet, so let's have a go now. This makes me feel really nervous, I must admit. We cut off our yarn and now we want to undo a little bit of our work. Okay, so we want our join to be approximately here. Because this is a single crochet, that's going to come undone, and that's okay. So we've got a good inch. So we take our new colour, set it up like we usually do. The right hand side of the yarn that's open is on the bottom, and the left hand side of the yarn that's open is on the top. I want my knot to be about 1 inch out from my work. So I'm going to make the knot with the bottom colour as close as possible to the edge. The yarn end opens on the right hand side with the bottom yarn. It opens on the left hand side with the top yarn. So taking the bottom one around the top, dropping that little loop underneath, and then sending it up through the loop that we make and firm up that knot. Now we need to do the same with the top colour, bringing it down and around the bottom colour and then the yarn end coming up the top. Try and make it so that that knot is as close as possible to your work as you can. I've got to be honest with you, this stresses me. They make it look so easy when other people do it. So now I have got my knots together. I need to pull them to tighten them. All right, get yarn ends out of the way. There we go, pull to tighten. And it's a little bit under an inch, but that's okay. We can work with that. I'm going to snip these ends off because this knot may end up in the center of a stitch, which is okay. So now we redo our last stitch, which is a single crochet. Yep, and the knot is in the center. All good. So we're finishing off with our new color. And there we go. I did it. I can't believe I did it. All right, let's go for one more. Let's do a different size stitch this time. I'm going to do half double crochets. We'll try that little technique one more time. All right, we're at the end of our row. We want to start a new colour to join in about there. So what I'm going to do is undo that last stitch. That gives us an approximate place to put our colour join. I'm just going to lay my needle there. So we've got our new colour, and I'm going to snip off this colour here. So we've got our open ends. Now I'm going to make this loop as close to my work as possible. All right, I've sent that yarn end around to the top one. I'm trying to keep my needle in position. I really need something better for that, don't I? My yarn end is now wrapped through that loop and tightened. Now I can take this out because I can do my magic knot from this side while holding on to the position I need it to be in. Wrapping that yarn around to make a loop and then send that yarn end down through the loop. Tightening up that knot. There we go. Now this is the position where we wanted the colour to change. So I'm going to draw these knots together. And that looks about right. Let's cut those yarn ends off. This is a real guessing game, I tell you. I think I would rather darn my yarn ends in by hand. Maybe it gets better with practice. All right, now let's redo our half double crochet. And we actually have too much left over. So what I'm going to have to do is take a few stitches undone. I'm going to work these last few a little bit looser this time so that the knot will be towards the center of the stitch. All right, I'm on to my last one, and there we go. The knot is just there, and that's a-okay because when we turn our work, we'll go into a single crochet and we'll work over top of that knot. It's not very visible at all. I will be the first to put my hand up and admit I don't find that easy at all. If you do, let me know how you do it. Maybe with practice it turns out better, but geez, it's a guessing game, that one. However, it does save darning lots of yarn ends in, so maybe I just need to practice. After this video, I'm going to start a small mini series on how to read patterns. So I really look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.